The UFC 299 pre-fight press conference just recently wrapped up. I'm going to recap and react to the entire thing. I'm going to go segmented in my reaction, so it's pretty orderly. We'll talk about the moments for each of the matchups and also Dana White's questions that he was asked and somewhat dodged. So make sure you guys smash the likes if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and let's obviously first talk about our main event fighters, Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Chito Vera. I'll tell you out the gate, Chito Vera had a lot of moments at this press conference, more so than Sean O'Malley, and it's interesting that O'Malley's viewed as such a big star, and he was getting an okay amount of questions, but nowhere near the Chito Vera questions, even though I felt like we were on damn UFC Espanol because the translator was horrible. But we'll get to that in a moment. O'Malley, first thing I noticed is he looked like an absolute clown with one of the weirdest outfits I've ever seen. It was like a green coat with like strands, almost like what you see with like confetti for a damn birthday. Very odd, but definitely was bright and caught the attention. And the Miami crowd was pretty damn lit from the get-go. At times a little bit annoying because they didn't really know when to shut up either because they just were loud as hell. And you could tell the fighters and even the media were having a hard time hearing the answers and the questions on the opposite side. That was irritating a little bit. But first thing, Sean O'Malley. He's asked a question about the first fight and what does this rematch mean to him? He said he's calm going into the fight and he knows he's going to knock Chito the fuck out. He did seem pretty calm throughout the majority of the press conference. Some cringe moments, we'll get to him. Overall, though, O'Malley has a pretty chill demeanor heading into this matchup, but he does seem really confident and has all week and even previously when this fight was announced. Big fight feel, is there a need for a trilogy, he's asked. O'Malley said, hey, I wouldn't mind KOing him twice. Kind of bland answer. Kind of bland questions. At this point, I've just gotten used to mid-questions for these damn UFC press conferences. I want crazier questions. I think the best questions are probably in Spanish, and we can't even understand any of them, but we'll get to that rant in a moment. Now, Chito's then asked a question. How does the last fight being a win factor into this matchup? Essentially, how's his confidence? He said, I'm ready to go, healthy, happy. He's going to dig deep for his goal. Pretty typical Chito answer. He's a hard-nosed dude. And then Chito was asked, what does it mean to become a champ if he is to win? First ever Ecuadorian UFC champ. That'd be major. He said life-changing opportunity. And then the crowd's going crazy. It's hard for the questions to come through because the crowd was very pro-Chito Vera. You would think, right, Sean O'Malley being pushed as a UFC star on the horizon will be the one getting the crazy cheers. Chito Vera was popular in Miami. O'Malley's asked another question. It was about the DMs between him and Chito Vera. And then a terrible, boring answer. He said he might tweet about it later, but we'll see who has it. Chito doesn't have to show it if he doesn't want to. I was kind of like, all right, this is fucking terrible. What are we talking about these damn DMs at this point? Either show them, discuss them, don't. I don't know. It just seemed like a useless question. It was attempted to stir the pot, but there was nothing there. Because we have to face facts. Sean O'Malley's not really that charismatic. He's popular because he's got cool hair, okay? He's a great fighter. He's sick as fuck in the stand-up. And he's friends with, you know, the Nelk boys and other celebrities, and that's really built up his stock with the casuals. O'Malley's asked, how does it feel not being a fan favorite? And I think this got under his skin. He said, Chito's a fucking piñata. Jan's one fight away from bare knuckle boxing. Hey, don't dig it, bare knuckle. We like bare knuckle fighting championship over here. And Marab's nose is more crooked than Biden. That was solid. I mean, he had those lines probably written down beforehand. That's about as charismatic as you're going to get from Sean O'Malley. Then Chito was asked in Spanish a question, and O'Malley's booing him. Kind of attention-seeking behavior. We saw that a lot from O'Malley at this press conference. It was cringe. Chito says he has no pressure, but he's ready to be champion. And O'Malley's kind of making these weird booing noises at him. Then O'Malley's asked a question. He said, Chito's game plan is to chop at those legs, and is he ready for the leg kicks? And O'Malley said he can kick my legs all he wants. My leg's going to be on his chin. I guess implying that he's going to be looking for high kicks come fight night. That'd be pretty sick. I hope we see some sick high kicks. I'm curious how he's going to deal with those leg kicks because they shut him off last time. Chito's asked the question, what are your thoughts on the DMs and is he playing mind games? Vera essentially is like, I'm prepared. I'm ready to go. He's feeling good. He's not worried about some stupid DMs. And he said, fuck the noise. It's not like that Conor McGregor getting under Jose Aldo's skin. It's like not even close to that. Sean O'Malley, I think that Chito, in a sense, kind of views him as immature and really doesn't seem to be taking him too seriously. I got to take a sip of this water, guys. I'm a little under the weather. Chito's then asked a question in Spanish again. O'Malley interrupts with a weird barb. Couldn't really understand what he said. Where the fuck is the translator? Because these questions are being asked, and the translator is not butting in to let us know what's being said. I feel like I'm watching UFC Espanol. I can't understand shit. And then it was like something about it's been 4 years since the first fight. Was it luck? Then we finally got a translation. Chito said, shout out to the Zins. I'm popping them out. There we go. Cool mint today. He said that he creates his own luck. And let's have it again. Yeah, big thing I said, can we get the good translator back, please? I wrote that down because we had that translator that was around when Anderson Silva was fighting who speaks Portuguese. Not Mr. Chad translator that's like makes you feel like you're hearing what's said, who brings passion. It's just like bland, robotic rebuttals. And sorry. And I hated it. I was irritated, bro, because I couldn't understand. He said he's going to be a world champ Saturday. That's what Chito said. I said, this might as well be UFC Espanol. I can't understand shit. We'll see what happens. Terrible translator. Like the translator said, like he said something about see what happens. And the question's not even getting translated. I don't even know what was asked at this point. Chito was being asked the most. Holy shit. He said that he's prepared to take O'Malley's head off, which was good. And those were the major moments they had when it was just about them. But they do have another exchange that was during the Petr Yan and Song Yadong back and forth. Honestly, I want to jump to the Petr Yan and Song Yadong back and forth because it was pretty entertaining. So let's talk about those two, and then we'll talk about Dana White and the other fighters on the card. So Song Yadong and Petr Yan, and then we're also going to feature an O'Malley and Vera moment towards the end of the exchange. So Song was asked about his claim of being the best boxer at bantamweight. And will Petr Yan stand with him? Song Yadong, very ballsy to speak English. Honestly, he was funny. He was cracking me up speaking English. He's a great fighter. He honored. I'm ready to knock him out. Yadong says, what about you, Peter? My Chinese accent might be pretty top tier, actually. Peter says, I'll show him who's the best boxer. I smash guy. Smash this guy. I'm 7-0 boxing, different level. Yadong's then asked something in Chinese, and we don't even get a translation. But he does try to speak English, what I like a lot. And he said, I will show Peter. Peter's tough. I'm tougher, he says. Peter calls him a mouse because, like, the way he's talking, like the English translation, sometimes accents when it turns to English, when you have a different tongue, it kind of sounded mouse-like. It was hilarious, actually. And then Yadong's asked about Chito, and then Yadong says, please win, call me out, okay? Chito says, focus on your fight first. Don't wipe your ass. Before you take a shit, that was my favorite moment of the damn press conference. Chito Vera is the ultimate Chad. He won the press conference by a fucking mile. O'Malley then says, Chito ain't winning shit. Don't talk about this. And Yadong says, what's up, Miami? And then O'Malley is so desperate for a question. He's holding the mic the whole time as he's not being asked anything. I think he was upset that he didn't get, all the publicity and fame. Chito was asked the most, though. He said he's preparing to take his head off. And, like, honestly, it was all UFC Espanol. When this thing ended, all the questions back and forth between Chito, pretty much just Chito and the damn media, I was like, thank God it's over. I can't understand shit. But yeah, Chito Vera got asked the most, definitely was the most Chad-like. And it was really funny, though, what he said. I'm going to read it again. What he said to Song Yadong was 10 out of 10. That was one of my favorite barbs, man. Don't wipe your ass before you take a shit. That was great. Because, Song's kind of like trying to ploy into, oh, well, give me the fight because I did beat you, even though it was a bullshit decision, upper weight class at 145. That definitely Chito Vera won. But that was the back and forth between Yan, Yadong, and kind of mixing in O'Malley and Chito Vera. Those are major moments, but still other stuff to talk about. We got other fighters on the card. I want to talk about Dana White's part. Dana White was asked, will the UFC return to Miami for UFC 305? Dana says, this is one of the most electric presses of all time. 13.75 million gate. We broke the record for the arena. Miami, you were awesome. Thank you. So no answer. Great. We got no answer on it. He's not saying yes or no. Who the fuck knows? I'm leaning yes. I hope that it happens. But Dana is not ready to commit to an answer. He was asked another question. Was it difficult to put on a show for UFC 300 with all these stacked cards heading up to it? 298, now here 299. Dana says this is a great card coming for 300. And he's actually teasing at the end of the year is going to be even better. And this is going to be the baddest year for the UFC ever, which he said before. One thing about Dana White is when he talks about the years being the best ever, he fucking delivers. Because we've seen the UFC consistently put out better and better and better and better numbered cards. So I'm expecting a pretty banger year, especially if, you know, some major fights happen. The Jones return, the McGregor return. Who the fuck else knows? Major fights. Ilia Topuria, Sean O'Malley. If Sean O'Malley wins here, it could be a super fight. I definitely think it's going to be a banger year. Now, I do want to talk about some of the other fighters on the card. We'll breeze through it. BSD, Poirier. Poirier was asked how important was it to be on this card because, you know, he used to live in Miami. He lived there 6 years. He's repping Florida and Louisiana. And he said it's like a second home to him. What type of fight does he expect? And, you know, he said he's gritty, man. Poirier said he's coming for the finish. He respects Benoit's skills. It's going to be great. They're going to put on a great show. It's going to be a scrap. Pretty typical Poirier answers. Then Benoit was asked, what do you expect from Dustin Poirier? He said it's a huge honor to fight Dustin Poirier and Homsoyol. It's a huge honor. Terrible. It's like Chinese, bro. That accent's off. I'm having fun with it, though. I'm letting the accents fly, whether they're good or bad. So he's prepared hard. The better fighter will win. Expect a bloody war. Pretty simple and straightforward between Benoit and Dustin Poirier. Nothing crazy. No frills, but we got a great fight. I don't care about the presser there. MVP in Holland. MVP was asked, what is it like to be in the UFC? He said, the passion is crazy. Wow, I'm going to bring that back to you fans Saturday. And then he said, the UFC has a new MVP. I liked his barb. I mean, he's doing his thing. He's playing into his character a bit. MVP is a pretty chill dude. I like MVP. It's going to be a sick fight between him and Holland. It was a chill presser between them two. Holland was asked about MVP's Bellator wins and how they stack up with Kevin's UFC wins. Holland says, you know what they know. We all know what the difference is. Everybody knows. The reason you guys pay for UFC fights and not Bellator fights. Perfect answer by Kevin Holland. 10 out of 10. He's 100% right. UFC here, Bellator, now it's over with. Bellator, I mean, they got the Euro series, but they're a PFL product now. They're under. Burns and Jack Della. So something I noticed is Gilbert Burns had those sweaty pits. I said, damn, bro, you should have thrown a jacket on. We got sweaty pits Burns with the damn fucking afro looking like he's in semi-pro when Will Ferrell played Jackie Moon. That was funny as hell. Burns was asked, what does it mean to him to hear the ovation? Said he loves it, and he's going to put on a show Saturday night, and it's going to be an amazing card. He's then asked if he's impressed with JDM. He said he's tough. We're going to put on a show, and he likes and respects Jack Della Maddalena. Jack's then asked the question, how does it feel walking into hostile territory, and how he'll do blocking out the crowd being against him? Jack said he appreciates it, and he's looking forward to stealing Gilbert Burns' fans. And then he said, what does this mean with the win? He said he'll cruise into the top 5 with the win. So seems excited, pretty straightforward. Burns then asked about, you know, being a veteran, taking on an up-and-comer, and is he okay with that? This was like a Portuguese/English question. Burns says for sure, but then as we got more into Portuguese, he elaborated. He said it's a tough fight, not a hard decision. He needs a win, and he wants to get the belt. And then, of course, the Portuguese media, the Brazilian media asked him, how does he feel about UFC Rio? He said, if everything goes good Saturday, he'll think about Rio, but right now the focus on JDM, which was definitely the right answer because the focus needs to be Jack Della Maddalena because he's coming for blood. Good presser, solid moments. Let's talk about the face-offs, okay? Jan and Yadong had an intense face-off. I was looking for any chinks and armors. Definitely none there. Both guys bringing it. You guys know I'm picking Petr Jan. JDM and Burns, super respectable, super serious. And Afro Burns, he looked pretty cool with the fro. Even though I'm picking Jack Della, I mean, it's a coin flip fight, and I'm excited to see how he holds up, being, you know, Gilbert Burns in his later 30s against a real good prospect. And then MVP and Holland, they were intense. And you can see MVP's a little taller. Maybe he had platform shoes on, but either way, they were tall dudes facing off with very similar frames, and I'm hyped for that fight. The pick is obviously MVP for me. Poirier, St. Denis, they got close. They were respectful, but they were ready for war. And Poirier actually stared longer at Benoit. Benoit turned away. And notice something. I forgot to mention this earlier. I got to wipe my nose. Benoit St. Denis, he had a hat on because there was something on his forehead that we saw that may very well be a staph infection. And he kept it hidden with his hat at the perfect level to hide it. That's something I noticed. You ain't getting away with that, Benoit. I knew you were hiding that. Forgot to mention it earlier. I'm glad I mentioned it now. Then O'Malley and Vera, they had a nice shit-talking face-off. There was high intensity there. Sean O'Malley lacks charisma, bro. He's cringy. He's really fucking good. He's a great fighter, but like the way that they hype him up as a star and versus the reality of what he actually is as far as the fanhood, I don't know. He's definitely got a big casual fan base, but I feel like the hardcores are rooting for Chito. Like I even find myself rooting for Chito Vera. I'm picking Sean O'Malley. I wouldn't bet Sean O'Malley, but I'm picking him to win. But it'd be sick if Chito Vera took it home for Ecuador. His daughter's got special needs. I mean, the dude is a fighter's fighter. Like, how the fuck is he not your favorite? How do you not love Chito Vera? You do. Most of you guys do. Guys, let me know in the comments what you thought of this press conference. I will give it a score. I will say this was a... Fuck, dude. 5 out of 10 presser. It was kind of dull. There was no emphatic moments at all. It was pretty average, even subpar. Honestly, it was subpar. Fuck that, 4 out of 10. Not to say I was falling asleep during it. I was taking notes during the whole thing, and like I was tolerating it. My favorite moments were Cheetos. I think it would have been better if the fucking translator was on point, because I couldn't understand most of the questions Cheetos getting asked, but I guess that's my fault, because I don't speak Spanish, and we're over in Miami, and, you know, there's a big Spanish-speaking population over there in, you know, the Great South. Either way, $2.99 is going to be a banger card. Hope you guys enjoyed the press conference reaction. You know, this is a newer segment on the channel that I started this year. Let me know how you guys like it. Do you like that I'm going in order of matchups as opposed to just going in chronological order of how the questions took place? Because that's what I used to do. But I said, man, I think I got to make it more structured, where it's about each matchup and then Dana's specific questions as well. Let me know in the comments. I want to know what you guys are thinking. Who won the press conference? My winner of the UFC 299 presser, easy peasy, it's Chito Vera. He kicked ass at the press conference. He's got the crowd behind him. And Sean O'Malley was upset. Low-key, he was butthurt. Sean O'Malley was reminding me of like a 10-year-old who's trying to get attention from his mom when the mother is like talking to her friend or something like that, and he's just throwing in little barbs, trying to be a menace. That's what Sean O'Malley seemed like. It was cringy. O'Malley was cringy. Chito Vera was a Chad. Respect all the way through and through with everybody else. I like Song Yadong and Petr Yan's moments too. Those guys are savage, and I'm hype as hell for that fight. Outside of the main event, those two brought the heat for the press. Everything else was like pretty status quo and simple down the middle. And Dana's dodging questions, but he doesn't know for sure. If it's UFC 305 in Miami, I'd be excited. So will most of the fans. But he's not going to release that to us unless he knows with an absolute truth. Thank you guys for watching. Smash the likes. If you're new, subscribe. Sorry that I'm a little sick, man. I'm still bringing the heat even under the weather. It is what it is. I'll see you all in the next one. Much love, guys. Peace out.